Hey everybody, I'm in the kitchen today, so I probably sound a bit echoey. Look, you can see my tea shelf behind me. I love my cups of tea. Anyway, so today we had friends round and it was a really sunny day, cold but sunny. So everyone was playing in the garden, we'd gone outside, they brought their dog, so we're all in the garden and one of my kids is like kind of digging into the, I want to say lawn, because that's sort of what it is, but really it's like crappy grass, certainly not manicured. However, we try and be like really, the garden is a great space for them to go and explore and experiment and try things out, and we're not precious about it. However, the digging was like right in the middle of where you would kind of walk into the garden, and just before winter, and it's going to basically turn into like a mud pool for everyone going into the garden. So I was like, sweetheart, if you dig a lot there and the grass, then there's no grass, it's just going to like turn into mud, right? And my child was like, yeah. And they were obviously thinking about it, and then went and got a big spade and went to and sort of stuck it right in, and I was like, sweetie, I'm not sure that's the best place for digging. And at that point they were like, yeah, fair enough, so went off and did something else and didn't do the digging. But yeah, what struck me was my friend said, I'm really impressed with like how calm you were about that, because you'd already said it once and they're still digging, and I thought, yeah, because actually the reason she'd said that was because as all the children had drifted off, I was able to go to her and say, stop digging in the grass, because there's a part of me inside that wants grass on my garden, I don't want pools of mud, and there is a part of me that's going, grrr. And you know what? Once upon a time, that part of me would have come out so much more. But now I can kind of have that little part of me inside that's going and having a bit of a thing, and hold space for that, as well as acknowledging that there's a part of me that wants my children to experiment, wants them to be free in what they're doing, wants to, yes, sometimes say, actually, I'm not cool with that, but do it in a way that is, warm and loving and accepting of what they're doing, but just like offering a different perspective, So, yeah, it was just really interesting to think, yeah, I could have handled that in so many ways, and I like how I handled it, and I can still care for that part of me that's going, but I don't fricking want a hole in the middle of my fricking lawn, I just don't, I really don't, and that's okay too. And still, if I can hold that part of me with a bit more care and compassion, then the other part of me that, yeah, doesn't want a hole in the lawn, but can handle it in a mature, loving way, I can let that part come to the front, So, yeah, that was my day today, just a little reflection of something. And yeah, it's taken a lot of work to get to this point where I can acknowledge the part that's not happy and is probably swearing, because that's what I do, and hear that part and accept that part and hold it with compassion, so that a more logical, heart-centered part of me can actually take the lead in that situation. It takes work, it can be done. Believe me, I was definitely in that space so much, and it was horrible and uncomfortable, and I didn't like it. It wasn't great for my kids. I used to be there so much, and sometimes I go back there, but nothing like I once did. And now I can come from that, that loving space so much more. So I hope that gives you hope It can be done, it takes work, it takes small steps in the direction that we want to go. All right, hope that's helpful. See you all soon. Bye.